Hello, hi guys. Well, today I installed condensing unit somewhere in the Piccadilly, but um, on that day the pressure switch was not available. But because the normal temperature of a condensing unit is 250 degrees, so you can survive without pressure switch for a day or two. But it's necessary to put the pressure switch. So I pre-wire the pressure switch. So we're gonna go through the pressure switch, what is the pressure switch, how to wire the pressure switch, and what is basically the job of the pressure switch. Sorry guys. Okay, so as you can see, this side is the high side. Why is the high side? Because we're seeing the sign of 100, 200, 300, 400. So that means we set our temperature just about 350, a bit more than 350. So what's going to happen in the high side? Obviously this is the high side, so it's connecting right underneath of the high side, and it will be connected to the high side of the condensing unit. So let's say our temperature, for some reason, normally the temperature is about 250 degrees on the fridge freezer. In summer the temperature can go up to 275. Let's say condensing fan is not working, let's say the condenser is dirty, let's say there is some kind of problem. There is three possibilities the temperature could rise. Possibility number one, if the condensing fan is not working. Possibility number two, if the condenser is very dirty and clogged and blocked basically, so the fan cannot condense the gas and cool it down basically, so the temperature is rising. And one more possibility, which is very unique and sometimes is happening, if your ORFs is blocked. This is the filter, this is the ORFs which is going inside the expansion valve. If this one is blocked, that means the compressor is pumping the gas but is not circling to the unit, or circling in the very slow process. That means it's not 100% block, but it's the 80% block or 70% block. Again, what's going to happen, the gas, it will kick back. When the gas is kicked back, if you put your gauge there, your high side will show 300, 350, it can be 400. And once it's crossed the 350, obviously, the motor will be automatically stopped, because that is the job of the pressure switch, to protect the compressor from the high temperature. So that is the high side. The low side, again, our valve is connected to the low side, and one of them gonna go to the low side of the condensing unit. And let's say this is usually in any system, when you see like this pressure switch, mostly not 100%, mostly that system is pump down system. How the pump down system is work, basically the pressure switch is controlling the system, not the control obviously controlling the system. Let's say your temperature is 2 degrees. Once the temperature is reached to 2 degrees, the control will shut off the solenoid valve. Once the solenoid valve is shut off, the gas will be stopped, and the low side of the system fail. There is no gas is coming, and there is no gas in the system because it's pumped down from the high side. Basically it cut down from the high side, so the low side don't sense any gas. And what's going to happen, your gauge will go down to 0. So the gas is, because this one is got a limited range, that means if you have to sense the gas, and then it becoming active. If you don't sense the gas, it become it will cut the power to compressor. That's the job of this one is. So it's a bit confusing. I confuse you guys, yeah. So the moment, let's say your set temperature is 2 degrees, if the control reached 2 degrees, it will shut off the solenoid valve shut off the gas is not circling in the unit, the low side of the system don't fail the gas, the pressure is dropped, and immediately it will shut down the power to compressor, which is this is the wire, the brown wire usually is power is going in to the pressure switch, the blue wire power is coming out. You can connect this power to contactor on the condenser, so this one basically is controlling the compressor. So that is the pressure switch. It is a very important part of the system. A very important part of the system is safety device, and sometimes let's talk about what possibly can go wrong with this system. If the pressure switch stop working the way it's supposed to work, some is getting old or some for some reason, what's gonna happen? The compressor is gonna zoom in, zoom out. It's gonna do basically it's coming on, off, on, off. The simple test for that is to remember both of this wire is live, so there is a disruption basically in supply without any problem, obviously, with the gas. Let's assume our gas is normal, the solenoid valves is open, and still our compressor is coming on and off, on and off. What the simple test is to just connect these two wires together, but make sure the solenoid valve is on. And because if the solenoid valve is off and there is no supply of gas, that means the gas is not circling, then that's another problem, because that means we're forcing the compressor to run on empty, and the compressor should run with the gas, not empty actually. So just to test it, connect this wire together, these two wires, and the compressor should run normally, and it will so then you know the problem is the pressure switch. Change it, take off these two things from here, or if he can pump down the gas, pump down the system, and then open this one, put a new one there, do the electrical wiring, and simply change that one. So that was introduction to pressure switch, and I hope this video helped the beginners to how to wire the pressure switch, and how to wire the pressure switch, and in case of troubleshooting, how to find the problem with the pressure switch. As I say, the compressor is coming on and off, and that is that. The other thing is, I set this one, if you can see, I set it to just about 2 and 2. That's the differential, 2 and 2. It can be 3 and 3 or 4 and 4. So sometimes if the differential is not in the right place, also the compressor is zooming in and out, coming on and off. So it's very easy. Just open top of this, and with your screwdriver try to change this setting, and to find the right, with the compressor on, obviously, with the motor is running, it's just changing the pressure, press him up or down until you find the right range. On top of that, if your unit is got, if the condenser supplying two different units, for example, let's say you have two dairy cabinet, 2.5 meter, 2.5 meter, 5 meter. Let's say if one dairy cabinet is go to defrost, you make sure with one, obviously the supply of gas will be dropped. Let's say the 404 pressure is 40, and it will drop to 30, 20 sometime, and then it will back up again. But if the pressure switch again is not in the right place, if one unit go to defrost, the pressure switch it become unsteady. What's going to happen again? The compressor is going to come on and off, on and off. So once the pressure is building, the gas pressure is coming on, and then when it's soaking, the gas is coming off. But again, it's nothing to worry. Just find what you do: turn one unit completely off, and for the other unit, again, you have to find the range. You have to press up and down the screw in the top of this, and to find the range. If it's work with one unit, obviously it will work with the 2 unit as well. And finally, for the last test, if you're installing a new unit, turn the both inside unit off. Let's say to the cabinet, turn both of them off. Compressor shut off within 3 minutes, because within 1 to 3 minutes, the supply of gas will be, the gas will be pumped down, and pressure switch don't fail any gas here. It should come off automatically. That's the normal process. So that means when the solenoid valve is shut, automatically the pressure switch should cut off the compressor, and the compressor should go in the brake, and that's a normal situation. But again, if it don't come off, then again you have to interfere with the screws on the top of this one to find the right place, and or shall I say the right differential, and that is that. Then everything is okay. So just, after installing the unit, it's very important to test the unit whether is our pressure switch, the differential is in the right place. The high side, usually people fit it onto 350, a little bit cross, give and take. 350 is very common, and that's the pressure switch. So simply I'm gonna connect this wire. My system, which is I'm connecting this one, is very small system. It's not the pump down system, but there is another way of wiring that one to the system, which is still protect the compressor. On this way, I'm just gonna connect basically. So that's the power in, and the power out, in this case, supply my control. So if, let's say, my pressure is cross the 350, this wire will cut off the supply to control. And again, the compressor is going to be safe, because compressor is going to come off. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Cheers.